Welcome back to our rebuild series where we're in the process of transforming our 1997 Polaris Scrambler back to its original glory. If you've been tuning in, you'll remember we've already addressed electrical issues and overhauled the electric start system, also installing a new spark plug. This week is a little different. I noticed on my last ride that the rear swing arm felt really loose, and this is usually a sign that the rear bearings and bushings are all worn out. I've already gone ahead and removed the rear plastics and any components that'll get in the way. Next, I'm going to pull out the rear axle and remove the rear swing arm so I can get a better look at what's causing all the sloppiness. As I suspected, the swing arm components are just simply worn out. And after 13 years of hard riding, it's not surprising. Replacing these components is really easy when you've got quality parts, and our friends at Erlandson Performance sent us over some of their best. EPI manufactures just about every replacement part under the sun, from belts to brake pads, bearings, and tie rod ends. If your bike needs a replacement part, chances are EPI makes it. This week we're using EPI bushings and bearings for the rear swing arm. But before we replace our parts, we've got to take the old ones out, and after 13 years of abuse, this is probably going to require a little bit of muscle. When replacing parts like these, don't be too hasty. Make sure you have them in the correct order, that they seat and fit properly so you don't have to do this again. To properly seat a bearing, I like to use an object of similar OD, or outside diameter, when tapping with a hammer, so the entire surface gets an evenly displaced hit. Doing this ensures you don't warp or bend any bearing, and that there's no sharp blows to any of the bearing's races or seals. Now that our bearings and bushings are installed, we're going to secure the upper half of the swing arm to the lower part of the ATV frame. Things might be tight with this new hardware installed, but it'll go back into place. We'll refit with the original nuts and bolts and make sure everything is torqued up snug. We won't be installing the rear axle on this ATV because we've got more work to be done on the rear end. So make sure you stay tuned for our ongoing rebuild of this Polaris Scrambler 400.